Ladies and gentlemen, so much to talk about. Two huge pay-per-views that happened over last weekend. Impact had their big one, Slammiversary, their version of the WrestleMania 2020. And within this week, basically almost the entire landscape of champions have changed in Impact Wrestling. We'll get into that. Extreme Rules 2020, the Swamp Fight. What did we think about that between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman? I don't know what their names are anymore. Plus, Sammy Guevara is back in AEW after his extensive sensitivity training and suspension after all the comments he said about Sasha Banks back in the day. And, of course, the tweets he put out right before all of it was brought up. We'll get into all of that and more this week as we
break the ring down.
Woo! You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list.
This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The After Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
And you're listening
to
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Break it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening, you are watching, you are paying attention to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew. The ultimate undresser, Smitty.
The former ring crew champion, Nick the Dick.
And me, the almighty one and current ring crew champion, Mikey himself. No midget strippers today, huh? All right.
No, midget stripper's pissed, man.
Which is why I would expect more of a boo. So I'll be very honest with this right now. I won on the biggest technicality that there could be. Nick, when we were making our predictions last week, said one thing, did not click the save button, apparently. And when he changed his pick during the show, and because of that, lost by the 3 points I made fun of him for he would lose by. And therefore, it wasn't a tie, so he did not retain the fucking title. Like, period. I 100% won on a technicality, but whatever, man. That's what you get for not hitting save. And
A win is a win.
That's a cheaper win than what Z did to Smitty with the Money in the Bank one. Like, I'm very honest right here. You just got screwed worse than Smitty ever did. But so winner goes to spoils, right? Yeah, such is life, man. That's what's fun about this, right? It's like you look at it, God damn it, and then I walk around with the title for a month, or at least until SummerSlam is over next month. Cherry Pepsi for everybody wondering.
Mm-hmm. I hope it tastes good. I hope it's fucking flat. Actually, it's fucking flat.
It tastes like a saved pro wrestling scorecard. It's just it's wonderful, man. Yeah. So I am the brand new ring crew champion. We'll get some information onto our website, breakingdownthering.com. Also, obviously, if you guys are following us on our social media, we post who won and everything. I try to wait for that. I try to wait for that until like when you do the show announcing who the winner is. So I expect that within the next couple days, change on breakingdownthering.com. You can also go buy this pretty shirt on breakingdownthering.com. Shot Club. Look, man, Bullet Club is kind of cool and everything, but real men, real women, we take shots. Clink me, bro. Breakingdownthering.com for official merchandise. Remember, we still have our Pride shirt up. We will always have our Pride shirt up. So you can go buy the Breaking Down the Ring Pride shirt, and 100% of the profits of that shirt go to support the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is an amazing organization helping out the LGBTQ plus youth, helping them deal with transitioning, if that's what they're doing, helping them deal with coming out. Let's be very honest, as we all know, if you're younger, I believe this up to 24 years old, if you're younger, it's real difficult sometimes to get a hold on large, emotionally, mentally draining things. The Trevor Project is helping out that youth so they do not feel like suicide is an option for them, because suicide is not an option for anyone. You guys, it's real difficult. There's always someone to talk to, especially when it's more difficult when you're trying to come out. If you're not having the support of your family, you're not having the support of your friends, Trevor Project is there to be your new family, to be your new friends, and to help you and to make everything better. Last month, we donated $32.20. We're hoping to keep it going every month. So please, breakingdownthering.com, get your Pride shirt, and it'll help go to the Trevor Project. Now, let's talk about something that we talked about a few weeks ago. It was a huge thing in wrestling. So we're going to kind of start on a down note, which will lead us into other things. There was a huge speaking out. Is that what it was?
Speaking out.
Speaking out party on Twitter, where a bunch of people, men and women, came out regarding people who use them in the industry, who sexually assaulted them, who bullied into sex, stuff like that, and semi-consensual but not fully. Like, either way, stuff was bad to the point where a lot of people lost their jobs. Impact Wrestling event fired 3 people. AEW did did they fire Jimmy Havoc? I don't remember.
I don't know if they fired Jimmy Havoc. They may have. So I haven't heard anything about him or from him.
Smitty, will you look up on your second phone to see? That, your drug phone, dog. So Jimmy Havoc and Sammy Guevara Sammy Guevara's wasn't a sexual assault thing or anything like that. It was he made a joke. He made a joke about 4 years ago on a podcast where he was talking about Sasha Banks, and just in the worst compliment joke ever. He's like, "Oh, I'd rape her," right? So basically saying she's absolutely gorgeous, and I would do many things to her. The problem was it was a rape joke. And those are funny in the right context. That was not the right context. Look, I'm sorry. You can make a joke about anything, in my honest opinion, and it can be funny. That saying you will rape someone is not a joke in a good way, even if it's a compliment to them. And I use that with air quotes. Smitty, what do you got on Jimmy Havoc?
According to Bleacher Report, he's to undergo counseling, testament after abuse allegations. So I don't think he's been fired.
Okay, so he's still in part of the company, just way off. So
yeah.
And then Sammy Guevara, his old stuff came out because this was the time when Bayley and Sasha were destroying AEW in ratings. Like Bayley and Sasha, that when they came on TV, when they were on NXT, they were beating Jericho for the first time. Like it was Sasha Banks versus Io Shirai. First time Jericho lost in ratings, and they made men like we are better than latex gods, And then Sammy Guevara put up the tweet where it was Ricochet, old school Ricochet, young Ricochet, still had his long flat hair, and he was standing next to Triple H, and he was like, we are better than whatever. But it was basically saying that Ricochet was Sasha Banks. Bullshit, light-hearted, funny, blah, trying to be funny humor. The fucking Twitterverse hates people now, so they jumped all down that. AW said, look, these are not funny jokes. We are going to have Sammy Guevara go through extensive training. He will be suspended indefinitely upon a further review. All of his pay will be going to a shelter, a charity, and they did that. There was a women's charity in Jacksonville that Sammy Guevara's money went to. They put out a statement themselves a week ago saying thank you so much for, from AEW for what they were doing. My beef here is AEW put Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara came back this Wednesday on AEW, and that was specific, literally, legit 30 days when it aired from the day that they announced his suspension. They announced it June 22nd, I believe the date was, and then 30 days to the day later, he was back on AEW television. Tony Khan did an interview the next day with Sports Illustrated saying that, he was suspended for 30 days without pay. His pay went to that charity. He went through the training seminar, and I'm sitting here like, dude, what's extensive about 30 days? Then I thought about it even further, and I realized that AEW was taped. So it wasn't even 30 days. It was taped the week before, like 6 days before. Okay, 6 days is, it's a 24 days, 30 days, whatever. But they're coming out saying this. It's not what it was. And I was talking with a friend, and like, there's a couple different things I have found out about sensitivity training. I have a friend, Z, actually said that his company's sensitivity training is like 8 hours long. Another friend of mine said they have a 2-week long sensitivity class. And I'm like, wow, this is stuff that's like mentally affecting you, right? This is stuff that you've lived with your whole life. It's stuff that you have to grow up past. I get it. It's not something small. It's not something to just bypass or think that you're going to get over with like that. You have to literally think about it. I've had to do it myself, especially with the transgender community. The him, the her, the she, the all that stuff, all the joking and everything. But even then, like, you get into it and you still sometimes slip and say him or her, and those aren't the right pronouns to use. Then someone said, what about your show? I said, what about our show? We are touting ourselves. Remember tout? We're touting ourselves as the most inappropriate pro wrestling show. You know what you're getting into with us. We're going to make the fucking jokes. We're going to say the wrong things sometimes. We have a shirt that says all views and opinions, based on Nick. Smitty has made really horrible jokes, right? So have I. But that's just what we do. We tell people, look, this is what the fuck you're getting into. The most inappropriate pro wrestling show. AEW is pushing themselves as one of the most inclusive and diverse wrestling companies. So to say you're this and seemingly come out, in my honest, I don't know what anyone else's opinions are yet. But in my honest opinion, if you're going to say we're going to put someone through extensive sensitivity training, and then when the person comes back, say, yep, they were gone for 30 days off television. They were suspended without pay during that time. So did Sammy not get paid for his appearance last week then? Because it was during the 30 days, right? This is just stuff to me. It doesn't make sense. And when you throw out numbers, and numbers can be disputed because math is real, no matter how common core you want to make it, it's still disputed. And you can say, but this number doesn't match up with that number. You're saying that number, but it was actually this number. So that being said, I'm upset AEW is bringing Sammy back so soon. But I'm more upset that they're trying to make it seem like they did something, because it's like a title change, right? In NXT, Keith Lee won that title the week before. But when you go onto the website and you look at it, it's Keith Lee won it on the day that it was aired. That's wrestling. It's kayfabe, whatever. But real life facts are Sammy Guevara was suspended on June 22nd. His tape return was the week before they said the 30 days was up. I don't like that. Just go with it. If you're gonna fucking bring him back, I don't have to agree with you bringing him back. But don't fucking flat out lie, especially about a situation like this that is ever encompassing the entire wrestling landscape. WWE still isn't fucking saying a goddamn thing about Velveteen Dream or Matt Riddle. Lars Sullivan is still with that fucking company for some reason. It's a part of the reason why I've watched 2 hours of WWE programming since all of this fucking shit started. And that was some of Extreme Rules. You guys talk a lot more on this show about WWE than I even get into recently because of this. It's just really turned me off from some of these products. Again, Ring of Honor isn't doing a goddamn thing about Marty Scurll, but the United Kingdom has upped their consent age because of what the things that happen in the wrestling business because of United Kingdom people. Which, now let's be fair, WWE has fired some people. Jack Gallagher, fuck, I can't even think of people off the top of my head. Smitty, I know you have it.
Jordan Devlin was one of them.
Jordan Devlin, yep.
He was a cruiserweight champion at the time.
Yeah. Well, luckily they and shit, the other guy who took the cruiserweight championship in that tournament was also fired. El
Fantasmo.
Yeah,
he just got fired. I didn't know he just got fired.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that lost his job from it, as far as I remember. So let me ask you, Smitty, then, since you're talking right now, what are your thoughts on this situation?
I think AEW could have handled this like Sammy's return better. Like you say, with the numbers coming out, it makes it seem like it was more of a publicity stunt. But at least they did something. Like you just mentioned, like WWE has really done nothing. Like honestly, the Matt Riddle thing pisses me off more than the Sammy Guevara thing, because Matt Riddle's in the middle of was just in a high profile feud with AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. So and then, like you said, Lars Sullivan is still with the company, and like Velveteen Dream, even though he's been off television and tapings for I don't know how long now.
Sorry, not Fan. It was Ligaro.
Okay,
yeah, Ligaro. Yeah, he was.
He's in a feud with Drake Maverick right now.
Yeah, Phantasmo didn't win. I thought Ligaro won the title.
No, El Phantasmo won the title.
Oh, okay. Why? I don't know how I mixed that up.
They demasked, and him and Drake Maverick are on the feud right now on 205.
Okay.
NXT. So it's I feel like AEW, they turn something serious into a publicity stunt, and that's not good. It's not good for the image that AEW trying to portray. But I feel like they've done more than WWE has done outside of firing. But they were already firing people to cut costs.
Yep, Joe Coffey was suspended on June 30th. I just pulled up the Wikipedia page. I apologize for interrupting you. This is for WWE. Joe Coffey was suspended on June 30th. Jack Gallagher, he was fired on June 19th. Jordan Devlin. No, it doesn't even say he was suspended indefinitely by Progress Wrestling following the allegations. There says nothing about his WWE stuff.
Oh.
For Devlin?
Yeah, for Devlin. It doesn't say he was released. Travis Banks was accused of emotional abuse by a former student who had a relationship with Banks while age 17. Again, Travis Banks is another one of those UK guys. And in the UK, I believe the age of consent was 16 at the time when all this stuff was happening. And look, that's something that I can't – I morally in the United States, it's wrong. But I believe in Alabama, you can still marry somebody at the age of 16.
14.
I think 14 still hasn't fucking gone up yet.
We'll say with parental consent.
So, yeah, look, there's still morally reprehensible things, but if it's like getting mad at that. Like a 30-year-old had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old, right? Holy shit, sometimes. That's that's not in a lot of people's mind. That's fucking horrible,
Didn't Woody Allen marry his stepdaughter?
That's way creepier. It's way different to raise somebody from your adopted daughter and then marry them than what this is. That's
Jerry Lee Lewis married his 14-year-old niece.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah. At the time, all of that shit was okay. Look, man, hindsight is 20/20, right? some of these people did some fucked up things, like the celebrities that you guys are mentioning. There was a time where fucking slavery was the cool thing to do in this country. Like, it was okay. It was thought of being all right.
For some people.
Hindsight being 2020, eventually the popular thought process was, holy fuck, that's wrong, right? So things are fixed. Same thing with this. Look, I'm not trying to say you are legally wrong for these things that you did, but maybe something up there is going, that girl's just hot, and you shouldn't have. Like, I don't know how. I have a daughter. Nick has a daughter. I don't know how I would feel if my daughter at 19 had a 40-year-old boyfriend. Legally, it's okay, but a 21-year age gap, pretty crazy. Right?
Want a shotgun? I got two.
Someone's gonna die.
Right, and legally, by the letter of the law, that's okay. And Nicole Smith married an 80-year-old guy when she was like 35, right? Something like that. I don't know. But again, a lot less people are going, oh, that's fucked up. When really, that's like a bigger age gap than the 40-year-old and the 19-year-old, right?
R. Kelly at 50-something married a 19-year-old girl.
And he married a 15-year-old girl at one point too. But again, right. So that's why no one should ever do a full album collaboration with Jay-Z. Your life is going to be destroyed. R. Kelly, Kanye, Linkin Park. Just saying. Ouch. That's what happens. Just do features, man. Show up on one of his albums. Don't do every song with him. Anyway, but that's what I'm saying. Legally, stuff is okay at one point, and then eventually things, the moral thing, it wasn't okay to get married when you were gay like 5 years ago, right? That had to be updated. Maybe it was a little bit more, but in like federally, that was changed.
Federally, yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying is like, it was changed. States are now making weed legal. Again, for a long time, a lot of people are like, really, come on, like, can we get this? Michigan just did it. Not federally done, should be federally done. But again, obviously,
fuck the Reagan,
different. But the fucking mentality thing is going up. Legally, were some of these wrestlers wrong? No. Morally, yeah. But again, I can't knock you for the legal stuff. I can knock you for the moral stuff. So continues me. I'm sorry, I cut you off and I went back into a conversation.
Yeah, I kind of think I hit everything, like tackled everything I wanted to say about it. It was like AEW, they just kind of, it felt like more of a publicity stunt for their all-inclusive thing, but when you say like the numbers don't add up, so it makes it seem more like publicity than the actual thing. And like I said, but at least they're trying to show that they've done something.
Right.
Unlike WWE and Ring of Honor. And even Impact has done more because they actually went out and they had to change their whole main event to Slammiversary because of this. You lost 2 people in your main event for Slammiversary.
Yeah.
And they had to, and they did a really good job with that as well. They handled it very well. And they ended up breaking up a whole fucking stable. They were just like the whole cancel culture thing. They had to stop that whole angle. As much as I don't like Katie Forbes in the ring, I just like her ass.
As we're talking about the speaking out movement, Smitty hangs up.
Hey, she makes it her point to highlight it.
Hey, all right. Nick, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm of the mindset, the punishment should fit the crime. Not every time, but in certain situations, not necessarily. I don't know. I'm a little torn here because while Sammy Guevara said what he said, this was a couple years back, allegedly, right? 2016.
Yep, about 4 years ago.
So, he's obviously probably changed a lot in where he's at mentally in regards to that subject. But I'm with Smitty when, he says that it's a lot of a big publicity stunt, because it kind of is. And they're kind of making it seem like, oh, well, fans really aren't paying that much attention to realize that we taped this episode a week ago. So if it's June 22nd when it happened and July 22nd when it airs, then that's 30 days. And that's pretty shitty. I mean, I look at the 30-day aspect. Like, I think for me, that's suitable for what he did 4 years ago. If he had done it within the last 6 months, the last 60 days, then no, it's a little bit different, but back in 2016 when that happened, and now he's paying the price for it, I think 30 days is suitable, but it should have been a legit 30 days, no pay. I think, honestly, who am I to say what type of counseling somebody should receive? Because, everybody's mindset is different. But I think that the full 30 days should have been spent in some form or capacity rehabilitating that mindset, whether it's 2 hours a day, 6 hours a day, whatever but that majority of that 30 days, the full 30 days should have been spent rehabilitating that process. If you're a company and you're going with this whole all-inclusive thing, then you need to set the standard. Okay, all-inclusive, cool. But now this happens. So as an all-inclusive company, what are you going to do about it? I mean, they're obviously punishing Jimmy Havoc with a stiffer hand than what they're doing with Sammy Guevara, and I agree with that. But there has to be a standard set, So I didn't like seeing Sammy Guevara on Wednesday. It was kind of like, really? I mean, you couldn't have waited another fucking week? Like, are you that desperate for some type of storyline where you needed this fucking asshole in a mask, and as Sammy Guevara? So I haven't watched Dark. Was that character in the mask on Dark this week?
Serpentico has been on Dark a couple weeks. He's supposed to be on this episode of Dark, this Tuesday's episode of Dark.
Because when they were talking about it made me feel like he had already made an appearance as that character. So then I was like, okay, so was it really only 2 weeks then? Like, that's kind of how my mind went with the whole thing. So I think it was too soon. You could have waited until, honestly, it should have been the first week of August, first show in August, whether that was 30 days, 38 days, whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, he said that 4 years ago. I think he should have been punished. I think it fit what he did, 30 days. But them trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes it's pretty shitty, honestly.
I'll agree with that. When I first saw him come back, I was like, man, this is too fast. And I was slowly going, all right, like you said, 30 days to 30 days. I don't think he should have been fired at all for what he did. Excuse me. I 100% believe that he should have gone through the training and stuff like that and just been suspended. I thought when AEW first came out with the announcement, it was great, and it's exactly what it should have been. But my problem is the wording. Like, had you not said we're going to put him through extensive sensitivity training, like that adjective, extensive, makes you think it's going to be more than what normal people go through, right? The
Serpentico, he's going against Orange Cassidy this Tuesday.
But is it actually Sammy, or is it just
Sammy Guevara has a match on Dark as well.
Okay, so Nick, it's probably then similar to like the Jericho thing when Jericho put at all in when Jericho had the mask on for Pentagon L0, but he had the paint and stuff, and then so it's probably that exact same thing as just taking someone else's mask to use it.
I got
so most likely it was he returned during that match. Now again, it's the wording. And the wording is what's really upsetting me as I look more into it. Because, yes, Nick, I agree with you. 30 days seems about right. It seemed soon to me, but I can look past it all if it's everything you're saying is what it is. But the problem is everything they're saying isn't what it is. When you use the word extensive, when you're saying that's the sensitivity training they're putting through, you make it seem like it's going to be a real long time, right? my thought process was like, wow, this dude's gone 60 to 90 days, right? That's what I first thought. I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
I thought he was gone for a couple months, at least. I was like, there's no way he's coming back before 2 months. I was wrong. But again, I was going off of what their statement said. And then when he does come back and you say, we had him suspended and off TV for 30 days. You're right. He was off TV for 30 days. He wasn't suspended because he was working 24 days in. You know, it's like you have to be honest with it and open with it and speak the truth. And a lot more people will go, okay, cool. You know, that's just what it is. More people prefer honesty than anything else. You know, I'm in the service industry. There was a time where I was a server and I would forget to ring in a table's food. I would go to that table and rather than saying, man, the kitchen's really backed up, I'd go, look, I'll be very honest. I forgot to ring that in until 5 minutes ago. And a lot more people than not were appreciative that I wasn't trying to throw the blame on anybody, right? I wasn't being dishonest. There's all this stuff.
A dick.
Yeah, there's all this stuff.
As a person that works in the kitchen.
As the kitchen guy. But there's people like during COVID right now. There is a bar restaurant that's in my area that said, hey, just want to let everyone know we shut down today. Team member of ours wasn't feeling well yesterday. We sent them home. They went and got a COVID test, and it came back that they have COVID. So we're shutting down. We're doing a deep clean. We're letting everyone know. We're paying for all of our employees to get tested however they want to get tested. And when the health department says it's safe for us to open back up, we'll open back up. And I see nothing but comments of going, thank you so much for being open and honest about this. Thank you for what happened. Can't wait to continue supporting this. We'll go to your other locations that are in the area to support this company because obviously you guys give a shit. And that's what it is. It's not so much that it's, oh my God, we have to do all this. It's, look, we don't have to, but we're going to, you know? And that's what AEW did. Like, I agree. Sammy didn't need to get fired. Sammy was a blip on the radar 4 years ago. And he was like, I even talked about it then. He was like 22 when he said that. Right? If I ever was told I am exactly who I am now at 40 as I was at 22, oh my God.
Right.
Like, you know, like I am not that person. Like that person was young, you know. So I agree. People grow, people change. Right. Just tell me the truth about it. And that's what I'm more upset about. I'm even more upset that AEW's bullshitting rather than Sammy coming back too soon. Because if he would have came back and Tony Khan was like, yep, we suspended him for 3 weeks. We filmed it last week. He's on TV today. We suspended him for all 3 weeks. All of his pay, all 3 weeks, went to that charity. This is the training that he went through, and which some of it he did, you know. But again, don't give me the numbers when the numbers are wrong. And I think that's what I'm more upset about than anything else is the fact that AEW is trying to just say, yeah, this is what we did, but it's not what you did. And like Smitty said, then it makes you look like you're the publicity stunt people. And it's not like, you know, it's when you say you are the most inclusive, most diverse company and you lie about things that like that, it seems, especially like, look, Jimmy Havoc is still there, right? He's just going through therapy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
therapy.
Yeah, it's not even like
he's undergoing counseling and they're going to reassess. They're going to be reevaluating his status with the company once he's completely been rehabilitated. So he's truly been suspended indefinitely until like his counseling.
Whatever I know you don't have the web. Internet. I know you're using the 5G on the phone or whatever it is, but that entire explanation, while you were talking and it sounds fine to you, to everyone else it was, and that's what they said. So they missed it all. But we talked about it earlier. We know what it is. He has to go through therapy. They're going to talk about his employment status after all of that. But again, another situation, and again, it was just he was accused of emotional and verbal abuse by his former partner Rebecca Crow, right? It's not like it's rape allegations or anything like that. It's still bad, and yes, puts you through counseling, see what you do. So I fully commend AEW for doing something, right? Especially they did something with Sammy, who was in a top stable, right? A guy that was majorly featured on their program. And I think that's my problem here is with them bringing him back. It's like, but major stars, we can bring them back real fast. You know what I'm saying? Similar to what WWE's do with Riddle. WWE came out with a statement saying, yes, we will enforce all arrests and anything, like a specific thing that they said. They released a statement concerning Devlin and Riddle saying they took the matter seriously and were looking into it. And then later issued a second statement saying they would take action upon those who are arrested or convicted.
Yeah. This sounds like a cover up.
No, it's not just a cover up. It sounds like they're just, look, man, it's been very publicized that it takes a long time for men to be arrested when there's a rape accusation or something like that, right? Because it's real difficult. I mean, look, if you ever watch Law and Order Special Victims Unit, you know all this stuff, right? They're based on real cases. But it's still truish to an extent. Sure, it's television, but it's the real life thing why women are so afraid to come out is because a lot of times it's like, I just did this and now nothing happened to them and now I look like an asshole and someone could come after me, right? And that's just what it is. So you're playing both sides, in my honest opinion, is what WWE is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Impact is not like that. Impact were the ones that fired all three people that anything happened against, and that was Joey Ryan, Michael Elgin, and Dave Christ. Yeah, Joey Ryan's getting booked at some promotion in fucking August in Arizona, I believe.
Well, he's been on social media, like apologizing and giving explanations to any and everybody.
Right. Yeah, but no, like it was really funny. Like he came back. He's like, my therapist told me to take some time off of social media because it was that. But the Joey Ryan stuff, he made that statement saying we should believe all the victims, so on and so forth. And then Twitter blew up. There were like 15, 16, 17, like so many different women saying that Joey Ryan fucking did what things to them. Right? Now it's not I'm going to give you an explanation. There's no explanation, bro. You're a fucking not a pedophile. You've
pervert. No, predator.
I want to say pervert either because I'm a pervert. Predator. Yes, predator. I like that. I'm a perv. We're all pervs. Come on, Nick.
That's true.
I like Punani.
Predator. Yeah. I like. Oh, I want you to shine. But yeah, like Predator. Great. So Impact gets rid of everyone.
Okay, time out. But do you know what his gimmick was in general?
Yeah, exactly, and that's like a lot of people were saying that too. Like so the guy that made everyone touch his dick for a wrestling gimmick is a sexual predator, and you're surprised? No, we're not.
Also he had the boot place where you grab women by the chest and give them a belly to back suplex.
Oh, Joey Ryan. So anyway,
I'm just back.
Impact fired the cancel coach. Impact fired him. Impact fired Michael Elgin. Impact fired Dave Christ.
And there goes cancel culture.
Yep. So then they reset everything. And then they go into Slammiversary 2020, where you see faces who were released from other companies show up there. One was highly publicized beforehand. Two. The tag team, Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. The big LG and Machine Gun Carl Anderson. They came out with their Talking Shop podcast, where they talked about stuff leading into Slammiversary, which we will talk a little bit about. And then they have a returning, so we'll just start off at the beginning. The Rascals said they want to fight somebody. And a lot of people thought it was going to be Gallows and Anderson that answered that open challenge. Turns out it was Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. The Motor City Machine Guns are back in Impact Wrestling, baby. And they beat the Rascals in the tag team match. Then Moose defended his title against Tommy Dreamer in an old school rules match for the unsanctioned TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Moose defended. But he introduced a white belt instead of a black belt because, he's just starting. And you got to work your way up to a black belt.
Well, did he start with a black belt? So he's working his way down technically.
Right? Yeah, he's like, no, you can't just have that. Kylie Ray became the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship in a gauntlet match by last eliminating Taya Valkyrie. Then the X Division Impact X Division Championship was defended by Willie Mack against Chris Bay, and Chris Bay is your brand new Impact X Division champion. Then the North
Finesse Division champion,
the Finesse Division champion. I'm sorry. Then the North of Ethan Page and Josh Alexander defeated Ken Shamrock and Sammy Callahan to retain their record long reign Impact Tag Team Championships. Former NXT WWE star Deonna Purrazzo had her match for Jordynne Grace's Impact Knockouts champion, and you saw Deonna Purrazzo become the new Impact Knockouts champion. And then the end of the night was supposed to be a fatal four-way surprise match for three of the entrants.
Three of the entrants were the originals.
Well, yeah, and then one was we were going to see who the surprise person was for the vacant Impact World title because Tessa Blanchard was released by the company. Excuse me. And Rich Swann was your fourth surprise entrant, then only to find out there was a fifth surprise entrant, and that was the returning Eric Young. So Eddie Edwards defeated Ace Austin, Trey, Rich Swann, and Eric Young to become the brand new Impact World Heavyweight Champion for the second time. Smitty, we're going to start off with you. You have been the Impact champion for this show, right? If there's anything on Impact, you are the one saying, dude, check this out. It's looking good. And we love to give you all the shit in the world for how wrong you are all the time. But with Impact, you were correct. So, sir, tell me how you felt about Slammiversary, how you felt about the reset, because Impact did do a reset right now. Brand new Impact World Champion, brand new Impact Knockouts Champion, brand new Impact X Division Champion. Into Tuesday's show on Impact, brand new Impact Tag Team Champions. Their titles all switched hands within a few days, except the unsanctioned one that Moose just switched the belt color.
I swear everybody's got like a toy title now on every brand now.
Right. So how are you feeling about Impact with their reset right now? Because we've been talking about Impact for a little bit, not major, but we've obviously had conversations about it. Our good friend Rohit Raju has been on this show since his Impact journey was starting. We had him in studio, and then we had him again for a call-in interview, and we're going to have him next week. So we're obviously not we haven't been ignoring Impact. Our show, man, when we first started was Orlando Christopher brought up the broken universe, that got us into Impact. So like our first show was a major Impact show, a conversation about the show. We couldn't wait. So our second show was talked about the Ultimate Deletion. So go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off again.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed Slammiversary. A couple things you didn't bring up was like the debut of Heath Slater, or he's just Heath now. And
I just gave the rundown of the thing. So yes, that's what the whole point is. I'm just telling you about the match.
The match is like, first and foremost, that sliding destroyer that Trey Miguel hit on Rich Swann. That was just a thing of fucking beauty. Mm-hmm. It's like I've seen we see a lot of destroyers, especially with AEW and whatnot. But that was a unique spot that I did not expect. That was just phenomenal. Excuse the pun. Like I say, Chris Bay versus Willie Mack. I really enjoyed that match. But surprisingly, my favorite match on that whole card was Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've always said the Knockouts has been one of the best women's division in professional wrestling for a long time, and like they've been consistent as well, even through like the bad years and when people weren't watching Impact. The Knockouts have been consistent. Mm-hmm. And like even the battle royale, I like the Impact battle royales because the way they start off like a Royal Rumble to get down to the last two people, then it becomes a one-on-one. I was a little bit disappointed that they just kind of shortened that whole Taya Valkyrie, Kylie Ray interaction, but they were more worried. They were more doing other narratives from other stories that are going on in the Knockouts division. Like right now, They have a story with John E. Bravo, yes, John E. Bravo, Rosemary, and Taya Valkyrie. And I think they're going to include Crazy Steve after something they did on this whole Wrestlers House thing they about to start doing on
Impact House.
It seems like they're going to really do something else with that narrative. And speaking of narratives, like somebody else's own narratives, and he made his announcement that he will be returning to Impact, which he did on Tuesday. So it was for me.
Did you say EC3?
I did not. I said he's
okay.
A person that can
the reason I said it is because your audio dipped for a minute. Whatever your internet connection is sucks.
Yeah, but it was a good show. Like they opened up really high octane, really fast. Like that tag match was amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
I had to give a shout out to Tommy Dreamer for his shout out to Terry Funk throughout his match.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, and I tell you, I actually like Moose as a performer. I don't like his gimmick right now, but
he's a legend. What we talk about?
He's a wrestling god.
Wrestling god.
And I'm the real TNA World Impact Champion,
Moose.
But also
my name has an S in it.
I also believe he has one of the best spears in the business right now.
Yep. I agree.
So, like, there wasn't too much that I could say I didn't like. It's like I'm the only, if I was going to be nitpicky, this whole tweener kind of babyface Sammy Callahan, I'm not sold on. And also,
because I think Sammy Callahan is a spectacular fucking heel.
Like Ken Shamrock at 53, going the way he is right now,
right? Jesus fucking, and he does. It's not even like he's. When we see other wrestlers when they're 50s, they're like their muscle turns to flab. Ken Shamrock's still like, "Hello, I'm Ken Shamrock, and I will kill you."
And then Ken Shamrock's diving over the ropes now.
You said what?
I don't remember Ken Shamrock diving over the ropes when he was in WWE. Dives over the ropes now.
He was told he wasn't allowed to, sir. So Smitty, what would you rate Slammiversary out of 10?
8.9.
Oh, that's like one of the highest ratings we've given something. Nick, talk to me about Slammiversary 2020 in your opinion, sir.
So, oh man, you guys have been talking about it on and off for quite some time. Watch Impact. I mean, really, ever since they went to Access TV, watch Impact.
You also watch it on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, every week there's at least one comment. Watch Impact. Mm-hmm. This was the first time I've watched Impact. And I'm kind of familiar a little bit with some of the names, because I hear you guys talk about it. But yeah, man, I mean, start to finish, that was the best pay-per-view I've seen this year.
Yeah.
For me, there really wasn't. I mean, the Ken Shamrock and Sammy Callahan against the North, that match was a little slow to begin with, but then picked up, and it turned out to be really awesome. I really liked that battle royal, the way that they have it, where it's like 2 minutes for the first competitor and then a minute thereafter, and then you get eliminated, and then it's pinfall to end the match. I thought that's a really cool idea. And Smitty, I mean, just based on what I saw Sunday and Tuesday, dude, I mean, those women go fucking hard, man. I mean, it's just, there was a lot of physicality. I mean, no like bullshit.
What happened in Nevaeh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it just, and a lot of, I just got to say, there's a couple of these girls that are really thick, and I'm like, God damn, like Nevaeh, for one, I was like, man, I can get on board with that.
Thicker than itself.
So yeah, I mean that battle royal was really cool. That women's match with for the knockout title, that was probably the match of the night.
I agree with both of you on that one.
Coming in a close second was the 5-way to end the night. That was a really good match. I hadn't really had a whole lot of experience with Eric Young because, and this, I'm going off of the podcast that we listened to earlier in the week, Busted Open, too. You know, he was talking about how he didn't really get a whole lot of opportunities once he left NXT. He had about 5 matches in 2 years once they brought him up to the main roster. And I didn't really see him in NXT. And obviously, I didn't really see him on the main roster. So, yeah, I mean, but what I did see, he looked good in the ring. And at 40, after not taking any bumps for, I mean, God, it was, I think he said it was like 6 months, maybe a little less. And he looked really good in the ring. I liked his character a lot. I think everything worked really well. I like Eddie Edwards. I mean, he's got a cool character. I thought that was a cool fit for the title. Not that I have any opinion otherwise, you know, because I've never watched it.
Right.
But I'm a fan. I'm a fan now, and I'm going to watch it moving forward. I'm more, honestly, I would probably say at this point, I'm more excited to watch that than I was to watch AEW when it started. And Impact's been around way longer than AEW.
I stuck to Impact through the bad times. So when you said Eddie Edwards, I was so happy when Eddie Edwards actually won.
Well, and it was cool to see they showed that little clip of him and Lashley, so I got a little bit of the backstory on Tuesday. But yeah, man.
They do that a lot. Like they show old school stuff on Impact on the show. That wasn't just hey, let's show how Eddie Edwards won. They do that a lot. They show clips of previous matches, of previous things that have happened in Impact on the show. Do you think you're into it enough to start that 30-day free trial for Impact Plus?
Yeah, I saw the ad for it and I was like, because I mean, I can go back and watch anything I want, you know?
Yep, you can watch old school AJ Styles. You can see Daniels when he actually finally got his big push with the X Division.
Dude, going in and watching the old school Kurt Angle stuff. Remember how I've told you about Kurt Angle?
Yeah,
there's the triple threat match between Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles. Oh, dude.
What made it Mafia?
Yep. There's so much you can watch, and I highly suggest it. I personally am going to be paying. I don't have it, but I had Honor Club, and Honor Club was $10 a month, and I stopped paying for Honor Club because of the Ring of Honor doing nothing for any of this stuff. So that means instead of saving $10 a month, I'm going to be my finances are evened out. Just sliding over to Impact Plus. So yes. Now I will say this: like we talked about it, we've said it. Impact has put out the best match of Slammiversary 2020, in our opinion, was the women's match, Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace for the Impact Knockouts Championship. WWE has talked about how they are the women's evolution, the women's revolution. But I honestly have to say this, and we've said it before, but I'll say it again. That women's revolution didn't start until the Impact women were fucking putting on classics. Gail Kim is someone that I will, and yes, Gail Kim to me is the founder, the true founder of the women's revolution. Like I kind of put it on her shoulders. What she did with the Impact Knockouts division, as far as wrestling technique and bringing it into everything there, she started it. And like you said, Smitty, Mickie James was also a huge part of it in Impact Wrestling. So it began there, and people were seeing what women were doing there. Then WWE had to take not notice. It was the WWE women were like, look, man, this is what the fuck they're getting over here. Why aren't we getting this? So WWE had to take notice. And I'll be very honest, man. Nikki and Brie Bella were a major part in that. You know, not for wrestling style, because no one will ever say Nikki and Brie Bella are some of the best wrestlers in the world for women or men. But they had such power in the WWE at that time that they were starting something backstage that eventually moved front stage. And without them in the WWE being on that train of give us all of our goddamn time, please, WWE may not have even joined into this, right? Or at least not as fast as they did. But The women's revolution in wrestling started in Impact, in my honest opinion. And I'm so happy that during this reset, where it's bringing a lot more eyes, because Gallows and Anderson gained a lot more notoriety. You know, they even said it on their podcast. They're like, look, that thing fucked our career like crazy. Like, as far as wrestling, what we were in New Japan to what we became in WWE, you know, we had a fucking pumpkin in our head and we're worrying about what are we doing? He said, but nothing put our names more over than what we did in WWE. So now they're going to Impact and they're bringing a lot of fucking eyes, right? They're just one of those things that when you bring them over, you get a lot of eyes, because they were featured quite a bit. And it was a stupid, fucked up way that they were fired. And we're going to get into that after we talk Extreme Rules. But that helped. So when you got something like Slammiversary, one, your biggest pay-per-view for your company. Two,
actually, Bound for Glory is.
Is it? I thought Slammiversary is their SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the Royal Rumble. Everyone still tries to say Royal Rumble's number 2. I think SummerSlam's number 2 personally for WWE now. But anyway, so Slam, one of their biggest pay-per-views. Now you showcase the women again. And it was something we even had a problem with AEW for a long time. Until recently. Let's be very honest. We were talking about how fucking their women's matches were just bad. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But Hikaru Shida right now is running that division, and deservedly so. She is really, really good.
Also, during quarantine, you've seen a lot of showcase of people from like Penelope Ford and like on Wednesday you got to see
Chris Statlander.
Was she hurt? She's hurt now. And they announced a women's tag tournament.
Yeah,
on Wednesday.
Which is something we'll talk about in a second. Because Impact is bringing back their Impact women's tag titles too.
No, it's a rumor right now. Nothing's been confirmed yet.
Really? Because they were talking about it like crazy on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're talking about it crazy on Tuesday. This is right now. It's still just a rumor.
All right. So yeah, I'm just really happy that they featured and showcased every. Smitty, were you talking? There was no sound coming from you again.
Oh no, I'm just moving my watch.
Oh, okay. But yes, their feats, they put on a great pay-per-view. The women knocked it out of the fucking park. So it's a top-to-bottom card. Nick, what do you rate Slammiversary 2020?
I give it a 9, honestly.
Yeah.
A hard 9. Like I said, there was really nothing that I didn't like about it. You know, and I'm not even like a huge fan of the guys that came out as surprises. Like, you know, I had no idea. I've heard of the Motor City Machine Guns. You know, I've heard good things about them. They came out
so good. Totally
impressed. You know, I think, you know, I see a lot of chatter about guys like Heath Slater and things like
he
that.
Doesn't have a last name anymore. Remember?
Heath, you are correct.
He can't use it no more. I used to have a last name, but he can't use it anymore.
That was so good when he was talking to the door guy.
But
so
you see chatter. You see people talk about these guys like, oh, they suck, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, you're just a fucking WWE mark. Like, Heath Slater can go hard in the ring from what I've seen. You know, and these other guys like, you know, Eric Young, like, I don't have a lot of experience seeing him, but I was like, damn, dude, this guy's awesome. Like, the Good Brothers, not to say that I absolutely know who those guys are, but it's creating a lot of excitement. I think it's coming at a really good time for them all to go over there. EC3's character, I thought I really like where he's going with that, because another one of those guys I didn't have a lot of experience seeing, but when you saw his video packages to go to the main roster, he looked like a typical douchebag, like a stereotypical, like, just douchebag kind of guy. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a shitty gimmick that they're giving him. But you see these guys go to these other companies, and he's going to be who he wants to be. And he's, you know, like, I know we've seen guys like him before, but I'm like, okay, cool. I can get on board with that, because it's a reflection of their personality and who they are. And it blurs that realism line. But these characters in WWE, they're just doing a fucking job. Whereas the other side of the fence, it's, you know what I mean?
Passion.
I don't know. Yeah.
You see the passion, you see the creativity.
With all that, that's why I'm giving it a 9, because it's just, I don't know. I'll mark on it right now.
Same, man. I'm up there as well. I'm real hard with my fucking ratings. I give it an 8.5. And again, just for like little nitpicky stuff, and again, super fucking nitpicky. Like you said, the beginning of the Impact Tag Team Championship match. I agree. For me, it was a slow start. Great ending, and played well into what happened on Tuesday as well. I was a little annoyed personally that as good as they are, that Motor City Machine Guns were thrust into the tag team title after just appearing back and winning one match, which is fine. But I feel like something could, and I get it. That the whole gimmick with the North is we ran through everyone. Well, now someone else is here, so I just feel like it's similar to what I have a problem with in WWE. You're bringing back the old guys for a quick little pop of ratings. Now, granted, Motor City Machine Guns are not going to be like bringing back Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, where they're going to be, every now and then. They're going to be there every fucking week, and they're going to be doing that. But again, it to me, it's like, imagine I'm not a fan of the North. Okay, I just don't. They're good. I'm just me. I mean, they're okay, but let's say you kept the one title that didn't change hands was on the North, right? If the Motor City Machine Guns had lost on Tuesday, right? So now you have the longest reigning tag team champions, but also the only champion outside of Moose, but the only Impact champion not to change, right? Wow, that's a great gimmick to build on. And again, that's just nitpicking, right? Because I'm not mad that the Machine Guns won, but
I'm marked the fuck out.
right? I'm very happy they won. I like the Motor City Machine Guns. It's not a fucking lie. They're from right here in Michigan, So but that's it. And I'm talking super fucking nitpicky things, and that's why I'm giving it an 8.
I'm marked out for Michigan. I've been watching Machine Guns since my senior year of high school when they first started teaming up at Impact. So apparently they were teaming up over like a year before in Japan. But when they came back to Impact as a tag team, I was like, they became one of my favorites. And there's some of the stuff that they used, and they kind of they put it over on commentary how they kind of did some things that were not being done in tag team wrestling. And you go back and look at it, and like they really were super innovative when it came to tag team offense and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the way they operated, whether they were heel or face. And they also proved that and they're also one of those tag teams that they are great at singles as well. The singles competition as well. Like Chris Sabin is a former TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
He is.
And I hope they do bring back Destination X because the way that happened. Because Destination X, they have like the X Division title has like this whole clause, kind of like Money in the Bank. If you're holding that title, by the time Destination X comes in, you can cash in the X Division Championship for a world title, a shot at the world title. This is called Option X.
You're an Option X.
And that would be a say. Like I would really like that to become a thing again because I think that was a cool idea that they did with Impact. Like making it gave the X Division Championship a lot more meaning. Like, hey, let's make sure we try to hold on to this at least till Destination X so we can cash it in. There'll be an Ultimate X match later, and then whoever's X Division champion can actually go after the world champion.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, what is the Ultimate X? Are you talking about? Because I remember seeing a match where there was like an X over the ring, and I think
that's the Ultimate X match.
The belt was in the middle. Okay.
Yep.
Number 2, what happened to the Impact World Champion? Why did they release her?
So from what I was reading is Tessa didn't want to because she was stuck in Mexico during COVID.
Yeah, she lives in Mexico.
Yeah, she's married to Daga.
Gotcha.
And, so she didn't want to do everything online. So pretty much they gave her an option to either drop the title when her contract was also almost up too. So pretty much they said she was just being difficult to work with, so they just kind of released her.
Okay.
And vacated the title. Even though she said she was willing to drop the title at Slammiversary.
Was she?
Well, she said she was willing to drop the title at Slammiversary. Well, that's what from her. That's what she
right.
said.
But I wonder if she even could have, because I mean, how are you like? The borders are still closed.
Yeah. So that's like so for something like I don't know 100%. They said she would be difficult to work with because she didn't want to do everything online. Like pretty much the Deanna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace thing, everything was done via like Zoom or on it was done through some social media platform.
Right.
That's how they built that. And Tessa didn't want to do something like that because she felt that match was way too big. Apparently, she felt that match was way too big of a thing for her to just be sending everything in online.
Sometimes you just have to accept it, man. Like, this is the times that we're in. You kind of have to deal with it, you know?
And so I like Tessa because Tessa was doing things. So she was out there with the boys, like literally taking bumps with the guys.
Boys. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I love that they put the title on her. I really do. But anybody who knows anything has seen that Tessa Blanchard has lost to Taya Valkyrie, and yet she's hitting a Canadian destroyer on Brian Cage. It's like, I really wish they probably should have. I wish they would have been able to do that with Jordan Grace versus anyone else. I think Jordan Grace is a much more believable. She could beat the fucking shit out of all of them.
Or just to have it.
Yeah. You know, so, like, it's. I understand that Tessa Blanchard was the name, was the money, so I get it. But I really wish it would have been with someone who looks like they could just beat the fucking shit out of the dudes.
I think that's why they
believably.
I think that's why they had her beat Sami Callihan for it, not Brian Cage.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Let's move on to the Sunday pay-per-view. Okay. Slammiversary 2020. Oh my god! It's like it's like a big 4 week for WWE. The Saturday show is definitely outdoing the fucking Sunday show. The pre-show was Kevin Owens defeating Murphy, so Murphy couldn't be involved in the fucking Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio eye for an eye match. The show kicked off with the tables match, just as we all fucking thought it would. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura became the brand new SmackDown Tag Team Champions after defeating the New Day, Big E, and Kofi Kingston. And then it was a fucking singles match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Bayley won in very controversial fashion against Nikki Cross to retain the SmackDown Women's title. Then Seth Rollins got rid of Rey Mysterio's eye, I guess. An eye for an eye match. Fucking Rollins started puking after. Apparently, it was supposed to be because of the CG, something they shot where it looked like the eye was hanging out from Rey Mysterio, and Vince McMahon at the last second was like, "No, it looks too fake. Cut that." So Seth was just puking Seth was just puking from the same thing that he did weeks ago to Rey Mysterio, same eye. Asuka then had a singles match to defend her Raw Women's Championship. She lost or didn't lose or won or didn't win because Bayley decided that after Asuka put a mist into the referee's face, that she would just Bayley would take the shirt off of the ref, speaking out. And she put it on herself, and then she was the new referee. So she counted 1, 2, 3 for a Sasha Banks win. Forced the bell ringer to ring the bell and the time to say it. It was fucking weird, man. And Stephanie came out on Raw. Well, not came out. She appeared on a video screen saying that Sasha didn't really win the title, but Asuka's still not the champion, and they're going to have a match next Monday to decide who is the Raw Women's Champion. It is – look, let me be very fucking honest before I even go into this. I give the AEW so much fucking shit for their referee stuff. This was absolutely fucking way worse than anything AEW's ever done with the referee thing. And fucking they had a literal ref in front of the guy someone else was hitting and not calling a no DQ. Like, and I think this is the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life as far as refereeing go. Like, if I'm going to give shit to AEW, I've told everyone I only give shit when I feel like I need to give shit. This was fucking stupid. This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen with any refereeing at all. We'll go into it more. Then Drew McIntyre defeated Dolph Ziggler in an Extreme Rules, no DQ, super DQ. You can't win by DQ. Can't win by count out. Look, Look, it's a weird stipulation, but was fucking genius for Dolph Ziggler, right? The stipulation that he came out with
still
was
lost.
Extreme Rules match. But if you do anything that causes a disqualification, you lose the title. If you do a count out, you lose the title. Like it was wonderful. It was pure Dolph Ziggler heel move, but Drew McIntyre retained. Then there was the Wyatt Swamp fight, and Bray Wyatt defeated Braun Strowman after drowning him. Let's talk about the mass murder going on in WWE.
You see anything I posted on our 2020's not been a year for Mysterio?
Look, 2020 hasn't been the year for anyone who loses in WWE because there's a felony going on causing you. I mean, AJ Styles was buried. Literally alive.
Rey Mysterio's thrown off
Rey
the
Mysterio's
roof.
lost an eye, the same eye twice. Right?
Been thrown off a roof.
Yep, thrown off a roof. So was who else was thrown off the roof?
I don't know. Aleister Black.
Aleister Black was thrown off the roof. The next day, there was only a 6-foot drop. Rey Mysterio has been fucking, Braun Strowman was murdered.
Yeah.
Apparently, but it's an organic swamp, so he's fine. Look, that was the explanation Bray Wyatt gave on SmackDown. Like, so it comes out SmackDown was preempted for all the baseball. And you couldn't watch SmackDown when it was supposed to air out here in Detroit. It still aired at like 11 o'clock or something like that. So I was able to watch it, and you saw Brother Nero show up, allegedly. Look, but here's Extreme Rules, man. Like, Nick, just you talk to No, wait. I'll talk about this because I'll be very honest. Like I said, I've watched 2 hours of WWE programming, and 2 of those hours were this. And I kind of went into it.
It's okay. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Look, I don't understand what the fuck they did with the end of that Raw Women's Championship match. I really don't. I don't understand how a random wrestler could take a referee shirt off of them, put it on, and become a ref. I don't even think I've ever seen that before, unless the person was like scheduled to be at ringside as an enforcer or something. Like it started as they had some official role to be in that match. I've never seen a manager just do it, right? Because that's what Bayley was to Sasha Rickman. She was her manager, right? She was her Go Hard tag team partner, but she was the manager. She was the manager on the side.
Manager, that lady, that's cool.
Yeah. It's like if Kairi Sane would have taken the fucking shirt off of Bayley and then said, no, no, now Asuka wins. Like, what? Like, at least I think that I would have been like, all right, now we're just being stupid, but we're admitting we're being stupid. I'm okay with you admitting you're stupid.
You know the worst part about that? The match actually was going pretty well until the finish.
It was, and it was probably one of the better matches
on the entire. Probably the best card match in the card.
And then the fucking ending of it happened. You're like, what the fuck is this? It's like, looking at you're at the bar, looking at this girl. I'm like, she got a great butt. Like her hair, it's nice and long. And turns around like, dude,
penis.
Yeah, dude looks like a lady, Aerosmith style. You're like, ow, damn it, nice butt, sir.
So I'm looking for havoc. And I get Nyla Rose.
You thought it was a great ass when it was a woman, so it's still a great ass. It's just, damn it, you have an Audi, and I like innies. That's really what it is. Like,
I like pie. You gave me strudel. Damn it.
Right. It's the Dumb and Dumber thing. Oh, check on the ass on that one. Yeah, he must work out. But yeah, it's like, fuck. What the hell is this ending? Look, but then it just. Extreme Rules from what I saw.
Your post there. I was like, God damn it. I really don't want to do this right now.
We need a new shirt. Look. ...
Damn it. Hey, I got a new.
Oh, can we do a damn it? Can we do a damn it shirt? Kind of like Ron Simmons.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Yeah. Damn it. Damn it. Look. Damn it. I almost said look again. Damn it. It's just horrible, man. What they are fucking trying to put.
Soon to be down the ring.
What they're doing in WWE is absolutely fucking horrible right now. We're not happy with it. it's the crowd is being told when to cheer, when to boo, right? There isn't like, at least when AEW does it, there's the heels are cheering the heels and the face are cheering the face. Like, it's fun. It seems like it's organic. Nothing in WWE seems organic right now, outside of the swamp that Braun is drowned in, according to Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse on SmackDown. It's okay because it's 100% an organic swamp. It's the only thing
Thank
organic
God.
about WWE right now. And okay, the Bayley Sasha storyline. When 3 months ago, before quarantine, when they were doing this, it was horrible. Now it's wonderful. I love it. I will say that. I can't wait for them to actually fucking break up. And I think that's going to be someone. I saw an article that said it needs to happen because it's actually going to be the finish of something that started in NXT. And yep, it is. It will definitely. It brings NXT all the way into how Sasha and Bayley started did that takeover. It was touted as one of the best women's matches of all time. I want to see them fight in WWE. I want them on a main stage. I would love it to be at WrestleMania. But I don't know if you can build that this long. But I guess you could, because there's also talk of Randy Orton taking the title off of Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam and then holding it until WrestleMania where him and Edge fight for it.
Yeah, I've read that one too.
Look, I give Extreme Rules a fucking 4.
3-5.
From what I watched of it, a 4. And that's only because Sasha and Asuka were so good. You know, like otherwise it would probably be somewhere around a 3 or something. Like, I'm not mad at the swamp fight. Look, the swamp fight it wasn't a boneyard match, but it was stupid and silly the way it should have. And man, the ending where the Fiend comes out of the water.
Yeah, Braun set a guy on fire.
So much felonious stuff going on in WWE. But again, the ending was cool. Watching the Fiend come out of the water like that. I thought it was real smart the way Dolph tried to make the stipulation for him. It was pure Dolph Ziggler. There were some things that made a lot of sense in this, and there were some things that made absolutely no sense. The problem is it was way worse than it was good. So I give it a 4. And Smitty, you said you're at 3.5?
I give it a 3.5. Like I said, I've already told you, like, kind of like people pushing it with the cinematic stuff, and I was not into the swamp fight. I agree with you. It was cool with the whole thing coming out at the end of it. Listen, like the whole drowning thing. This is how we're gonna end this. The whole WWE Championship match. I'm like, come on, like I wasn't into it because like it's Dolph. Sorry, I don't expect Dolph to win. But like I said, the coolest part about that was
Bray killed a guy. That escalated quickly.
Braun killed the guy. And I was like, I think the coolest thing about that WWE Championship match is how, like, literally McIntyre like kicked up and hit the fucking Claymore, just like to finish.
Yeah.
I knew the tag titles were changing hands because I knew they really haven't been featured heavily until like the last 2 weeks before Extreme Rules. And usually when they don't feature your tag champions on whatever show, they end up losing those titles.
Swapping them over.
Yeah, like I said, the Bayley, everything just felt like fodder for the whole show.
Drink.
It was predictable.
4 out of 10. Do not recommend. Smitty's 3.5 out of 10. Do not recommend. Nick, what are your thoughts about the horror show? At least it was on. They were honest. It was a horror show. It was fucking horrible to watch.
it was predictable, but not in a good way.
Right.
Look, I'm going to split the difference.
Really?
3.75.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I don't know. From the get-go with the whole horror show element, I just was kind of like, okay, I don't really know where that's going. And it wasn't really that much of a horror show. It had potential based on that opening match, the tables match. That was fun to watch. The finish going off the top the top rope through 2 tables to the outside. Fucking awesome. The Sasha match with Asuka, that was a really good match. But then all of a sudden you get this finish, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, like, what the fuck was that? Like, I don't know what you just said, kid, but you touched my heart.
Local 305.
The Rey Mysterio Seth match, I actually thought the match leading up to the eye thing was okay. It was pretty good. But then I'm just sitting there at some point, I don't remember when, but I'm just sitting there, okay, when's somebody going to lose an eye? Are we going to see CGI, or are we going to see something? So I really could have did without it. I think they could have come up with a million other ideas other than a fucking eye for the puns just keep on coming.
Quick question. Who the fuck tried to pluck somebody's eye out with pliers?
That's
look, man, it was
brutal.
a toolbox, dude. That was just, look, sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe it can happen. It's gross, but it can happen. That's a true horror show.
The swamp fight, I was pretty bored the majority of the time. Thought it was kind of funny when the dude got lit on fire.
Felonies.
The Sister Bliss, that was hot. But then I'm kind of sitting there. Well, I'm sitting there like,
it was actually, I'm sorry, it was Blister Abigail.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I like that.
That sounds like STD.
So do you.
Nobody said anything. Yes, but then I'm kind of like, okay, that was cool, but then they're never going to do anything with that again from, everything I see. Okay, so what the fuck? Like, okay, cool. Oh, Braun's got this crush on Alexa Bliss or whatever. And, okay, cool. Yeah. But then, they're fighting in the swamp, which is to be expected. And I don't know. I was pretty disappointed with it. I've been a fan of these cinematic matches. I really have been. But, I think this is the final straw where it's like, okay, you need to take a break from those, at least for one pay-per-view.
No, you're totally getting one. Well, I don't know. They really want SummerSlam to be in front of a crowd. They just announced that it's not going to be in Boston, and they're looking at an outdoor arena. So they really want a crowd there. So you never know. Yeah. Maybe they are done with the cinematic matches after the swamp fight. Maybe they drowned the cinematic matches.
Hey.
I said they've been pushing it for a while with the cinematic matches.
Yeah, I haven't had a problem with them until this one. Again, like you said, it was the ending was cool. That was about it for me. Like, yeah. I really liked how the Fiend came up. I thought it was really smart, really slick with it.
And Braun killed that guy.
Braun killed a guy.
He should probably leave town.
Yeah.
Lay low for a while.
Okay. Extreme Rules was shit. Slammiversary was amazing. Let's talk some talking shop. Last thing we'll talk about before we go. Gallows and Anderson, Ryan Satin sat down and interviewed them to keep it in a interview form so it didn't go off the rails too much.
We found a lot of too, right?
Yeah, right. He joined a little bit later. You find out a lot of things about WWE with them, with their contract, with their talks, how they were given a fat fucking number, and they said they had a deal lined up with AEW.
And a story.
And a story to come in on the first Dynamite, but they were offered so much fucking money in Japan after teaming with Triple H, and after the match, they walked out and Triple H is like, "Is this number good for this many years?" And they were like, "What? Yes." And it just turned out to be a better financial business decision, especially when you're thinking it's the last contract that you're ever going to sign. So they pissed some friends off, but did it for family. so he kind of can't be too pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you kind of fucked us, but I get it, right? Paul Heyman was the reason they're fired. They originally were not on Vince McMahon's list of releases, and it wasn't until Paul Heyman put his fucking nose in it. Nick, we'll start with you. Just tell me what you think about it, man. Everything from the Paul Heyman stuff to what they did to their going to Impact now. What are your thoughts on the Talking Shop podcast? I almost said Talking Shop Mania. That's the pay-per-view on August 1st.
I'm really excited for that too. Only $15. I'm gonna get it. So it was a good podcast. I'm really starting to get into the podcast side of it. Obviously, I mean, being on a podcast myself. But it's interesting to hear a lot of these backstories and how things go down. I said it in the chat. Paul Heyman's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier in this show about honesty when we were talking about the whole what do you call it?
The speaking out movement.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love you.
Talking
my
about
Grand Theft Auto friend.
I'm gonna get on there today. I'm gonna rape some bitches. Anyway, so
no, it's all consensual. They just take your money. Hold on, it's consensual. You pull up next to the hooker, they'll bang you. Then you pay them to bang you. Then you pay them to bang you. And then when they get out of the car, you kill them and you get all your money back. So it's not rape. It's just free hooker. Smitty keeps talking and he doesn't realize he's on mute.
It's like a rebate.
Cash back. I use my Acid 1 card. I got cash back.
Actually, I heard the bathroom door and toilet, so I had to put myself on to hear nobody flushing.
Because we didn't want to hear her pooping?
No, I don't know who's in the bathroom. I didn't want to hear in the background.
You don't know who's in the bathroom? Ooh. She has a girl over. I don't know. Just kidding.
All right, so
Talking shop.
Talking shop.
Yeah, talking shit.
Paul Heyman's a piece of shit. I mean, he should have really been totally been honest with these guys. I mean, he's been around this business long enough to where I'm sure he's known them for quite some time. I'm sure he's familiar with some of the conversations that they've had with, upper management. And, I mean, you get a glimpse into how shitty this business can be, especially, I mean, the last couple episodes of these podcasts I'm listening to, especially how shitty WWE is in the background. I mean, it's really sad. And then you have Triple H mentioning to Carl Anderson, when I look at you, I think about your kids, and is AEW gonna last? You'll always have a job here. And I know it's not ultimately his decision, and I'm sure on some level maybe Triple H really means that. But when you say stuff like that and you get this contract less than a year beforehand, you are really thinking like, okay, yeah, I am a permanent staple here, even though I'm wearing pumpkins on my head and doing some of this tickle butt shit.
That was 2006. That was 2016, though. That was when they were, and then that's why they had to be talked into staying because of all the bullshit that was going on previously.
Yeah, the whole testicle angle with the New Day.
Yep.
So then you're here and you end up with this cinematic match with, the Undertaker, and you're with your buddy AJ Styles, and you're reforming the club and doing all this stuff. And then you get this call, from Mark Carano, and he basically tells you to fuck off, and, okay, now I got to call your buddy. And it blows my mind, and I think that they're much better off, because, you can make all the money you want in the world, but if you're miserable, I mean, me personally, I would rather make less money and be happy with where I'm at happy with myself, happy with my family, with everything around me, than to be in a situation like that. So I think, I don't know how much money they're making with Impact, but I think they're going to be a lot better off. They're not hurting by any stretch of the imagination. They got a lot of things going for them. So it is just, it's really eye opening. And it honestly, between that and hearing Eric Young and his, what he talked about on the podcast later in the week, it makes me want to watch WWE even less. I mean, it really does.
I'm actually kind of upset that Joe's not here. And here's why. Because Joe has talked about how shitty Vince McMahon has been for years. And it's always Vince. It's always Vince. Even when they started going through all this stuff, when Joe was still on the show and they were getting stack pinned and they were losing to Ricochet and stuff like that right after they signed their contract and everything. Joe was like, I fucking hate what Vince is doing to these guys. And then it comes out that it's Paul Heyman that was fucking them. And Joe's a huge Paul Heyman guy. Like, I was a huge Paul Heyman guy until listening to this. And I get it. There are some people that are amazing friends to one half of the people. And then there's that same person is the biggest fucking douchebag to other people. But it sounds like, yeah. But it sounds like Paul Heyman is just, I'm going to do what I want to do guy. And I'm going to make you think you're on one side. If I hate you, you know it. Right? There's no ifs, ands, or but Mikey doesn't like you. I'm not going to pretend I like you and carry on conversations with you and have you feel like, we're not best friends, but we're cool. No, we're not cool. And you'll know we're not cool. But Paul Heyman was doing that with Anderson and Gallows. Even Gallows said it himself. He's like, man, you Paul Heyman, you're not a Paul Heyman guy, but he likes you, man. He puts you over. And turns out Paul Heyman was like, no. And then it was about the money. That's all it was Triple H is like, I want to keep these guys. We can use them. They're here. And Triple H even said, if they ain't got nothing for you up there, I'll bring you down here. Could you imagine if Gallows and Anderson went to NXT to be with Finn? Oh.
Yeah.
The original club is back. The real OC.
Yeah. So, again, it sucks. I look at it from a business standpoint for Triple H. Yes, I think when Triple H said, I'm thinking about your kids and everything like that, it was very true. But then you hear that they got fired when you didn't even think they were going to get fired. You can't do anything for them. What are you going to do? I just had these conversations with you to talk you into it. I might even not call you because I'd just be sitting there embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
I think they put it over on the podcast. I think Triple H may have wanted to call him, but the politics would not allow him to call him.
Right, and that makes sense. And I don't know what if I was the guy that talked you into stuff, right? I said, dude, and brought you, and they literally said,
shit.
After 5 years, they were like, man, this would be the last contract that we sign. So after 5 years, we can do whatever we want, and we'll be rich-ski. Our families will be set. Gallows just got married. Anderson's popping out kids.
With his hot Asian wife.
With his hot Asian wife. That's difficult, man. That is difficult when the final decision you made is a family decision, and in hindsight, fucked you over from friends, from other opportunities that probably would have been better. Now, again, if they weren't fired, still be fine. They'd be doing what they're doing. AJ's pissed, obviously. He went on his Twitch stream and was like, yep, everything they fucking said was true. Blah, 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 blah. Talked to quite a few people. Vince told me himself they were not on his list. Vince could have been lying too. But hearing that Paul Heyman is just throwing a bunch of people on the bus rather than taking responsibility kind of explains why Bruce Pritchard's running Raw and SmackDown right now. Smitty, what are your thoughts on it? We'll get your thoughts and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, so one of my thoughts was when it came to I felt bad that they got fired, but they even said to a certain degree they felt like some of it was karma of how they screwed their friends over. But the whole Saudi Arabia story was the one that kind of got me. Well, it was one thing, and then there's Talking Shop and Mania. Gallows was trying to. He said, "I called my son and told him to take the ring and pawn it off if I don't make it back."
But they had good catering over there. So.
Yeah, that's right.
All you can eat seafood buffet. So that was kind of funny. And like honestly, it was the funniest part to me is how Gallows pulled to me, where he gets drunker and drunker throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that was
straight tequila right now.
Yeah, there ain't water in here.
That's what she said.
Actually, it is.
Wait, what?
Actually, there's water in here.
Sure, it is. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
My whiskey's on the side. My whiskey's on the side.
Doing a whiskey back. Take a shot of water with a whiskey back. Okay, it's a weird way to do it, but all right.
But yeah. So I'm also looking forward to talking Shop Mania because it looks like it's going to be fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Just a fun pay-per-view.
And I think another reason they signed with Impact is Impact was giving them a chance to actually flex their creative muscles and they'll give them a chance to actually promote their Talking Shop Mania.
And it's the same thing that they said, like Impact came back with the exact same offer they originally gave them. Like there was the talk that Impact was given an offer, AEW gave them an offer, and WWE gave them an offer. I'm sure New Japan probably gave them an offer too, I think they said. But Impact gave them the same offer, and they were able to still do things in Japan, so they're hopefully going back to New Japan to do something. That Rocky Romero said he's just trying to get things lined up. So we'll see, man. I'm like we all said, very eye-opening about things, the Saudi Arabia thing, how no one kind of knew. No one was really upset that Vince took off because that's what Vince does. So I thought it was eye-opening for them to give us a little behind the scenes on everything that happened. And I'm very happy that Gallows and Anderson are happy because I'm a fan of theirs, right? Do I think they're the greatest tag team of all time? No. Do I think they're a really good tag team that deserve the praise that they get? Sure. Yes, 100%. So I'm happy that they found a home where they're able to flex, like Smitty said, their creative muscle. Because even their promo on Tuesday was good.
Yeah.
You know?
And it seems like they're entering they're going to enter a few with Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, and Reno Scum. So,
mm-hmm.
And yeah. The future looks bright for a lot of guys right now. Like, and it's honestly the landscape of wrestling. It just proves now that WWE is not the end all be all if you're a professional wrestler anymore.
And what's even better about it is Impact is finally showing itself to be a formidable foe in the wrestling landscape, and I appreciate that. You know, it's just it should be because it is really good.
So they're in the middle. They've been in a renaissance over the last 3-4 years.
Yep. So
I just wish these fucking WWE marks could get off their high horse and try it. You know what I mean? Like, give it a shot.
I wish the AEW marks would get off their high horse and try it.
That's true too.
I wish any fucking company mark would shut the fuck up. Enjoy everything, like it, right? I understand or enjoy nothing, but at least. Look, if I'm being very honest, I think with the NWA on a pause, right, I think Impact is the thing right now. I think AEW is okay. I think it's overhyped by the people that are in love with it. I don't think it's shit, but if I have to be honest, right now in the current grand scheme of things, the product being put out, I think Impact is the better one. And if there's anyone who is saying, oh, the wrestling is so much better in AEW, go check out Impact, right? I think it has great characters. I think it has spectacular wrestling. And I think it's been more solid for the past year or two than AEW has. And I also understand that AEW is still in growing phases, right? I get it. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying if I have to put a company at number one as far as overall presentation and ring stuff, it's Impact.
I like the way they actually carry their stories too.
Right. AEW very well could be number two.
I would agree with what you just said based on just watching 4 hours 5 hours worth of their programming over the last week for the first time ever. I would agree with that.
And that's just a testament to it, man. Like if you truly pay attention to it, I think you'll love Impact. And again, speaking of Impact, next week on this show, the one, the only Rohit Raju will be on for his third time ever with us on Breaking Down the Ring. So make sure you tune in next week, 11 a.m. every Sunday, or just listen to the podcast. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you're going to www.breakingdownthering.com. Get some merch. Check us out. Get yourself a Shot Club shirt. Get yourself a fucking Breaking Down the Ring Pride shirt. Huh? Hopefully what?
I was hoping we can get those damn it and look shirts up.
Yes, the look, the damn it shirts sound amazing. However, I can't put new stuff up yet. Still, when I can, we're going to have another shirt that's able to go for charity first, and then maybe the look and the damn it. But go ahead, check it out, breakingdownthering.com. Guys, that's it for us. Brand new Ring Crew champion. Nick sucks. Doesn't know how to hit the save button. Again, follow us on all of our social medias. Thank you so much. Podcast Detroit is just amazing. We fucking love Podcast Detroit. Hopefully we'll get into the studio soon, so we'll be out of the Zoom stuff. But who fucking knows? We'll see what we're going to do in the future. That being said, we are your Ring Crew.
The new Mr. Impact, Smitty.
Smitpact.
The new Impact Mark, Nick the Dick.
And me, the new Ring Crew champion, the almighty one, Mikey himself. We are out.